Polaris guy. This machine has my attention. I'm thrilled with the purchase. It's an animal. I don't know whether to call this a she or a he. It's like a tractor. It's better than a tractor. I can't believe I just said that. Okay, we're at Demon Run. Just starting the trail. First impression of the Can Am Defender XMR. I'm in high gear. Clutch is brand new. Ground is extremely hard. Extremely hard. Although the ride is actually very nice in this. I have it in four-wheel drive trail, and I have the rear diff locked, and I have it in normal mode. And although it rides rough, it actually was up to 30. Wow, it actually rides pretty good. This is very hard surfaces. So I'm leading because our machines behind us are bigger. I'm leading because the machines behind us are bigger. And wow, it's definitely wide. I believe it has more than enough power for this trail, but it is wide. I might wear myself out with the steering wheel because it's not the tight ratio steering wheel that I have on my Razor. A lot of turns. Here we go, first time down Carl's Hill, and this is steep. Oh boy, we're already in an off camber and a tight fit. Oh my God, this is a steep hill. This is like driving a school bus down Mount Everest. And Dave is going too fast. He's too far ahead of me. Holy cow, is this a steep hill. Oh boy. Wow, is this steep. Hopefully we're getting this on camera. Okay, now we're going up it. My gloves are on the floor. My hands are cold. Let's get her up Carl's Hill. Oh, she's climbing Carl's Hill. Wish I had more faster reaction on the turns. Sure, she had a wheel going up. And there's a tree here I just get by. Whoa! Man! Holy cow! Alright, here's another black hill. We'll take her down slowly. The issue I'm having getting used to is the machine is very stable, stiff suspension, but it rides pretty good. Is the turning, you really have to, it's like driving a tractor. A lot of turns to get around some of these corners, where the Polaris machines had a better steering ratio. Here we got a little off camber. Here's a tight squeeze, but I think she'll go through it easily. Polaris machines I drove had a better ratio, and that's part of it. This is a utility class that they made it a mud machine. It seems they have no issues with hills. You have to get into the power band. You have to get into the power band, but she'll run the hill. So Dave wanted to do Demon Elbow, which is an expert trail. So here we go. Hopefully he's going to get me on camera if he doesn't go too far ahead. Very steep with some step downs in it. Here's the first one. I think it's going to be nothing for this machine. We'll see how Todd does. Then we got an off camber here, which the off cambers, this thing is so wide, I don't even feel the off cambers. We'll see how it does on this one. Just go slow on the off camber. That's a little scary. I hope he doesn't outshoot me up this hill. Okay, it's icy. Let's catch him on this hill. He did a good job slowing up for me. He's slowing up for me to get the machine on the camera. I don't see the other guys. Oh man. Tire coming off the ground because of the stiff suspension. Now I do have the rear end locked in, the rear diff locked in. Oh wow, is this steep? Wow. I do have the rear differential locked in. The front is in it's in four-wheel drive trail mode, so I do not have the front end locked in. And I'm wondering if some of the things that I'm feeling that I'm not used to is a delay in that front end grabbing as opposed to a Polaris. A Polaris would grab right away. A lot of hills at Demon. But I think what saves this machine is the width. I think the width saves it. It's very wide. And the suspension doesn't have a lot of give, so it doesn't tip a lot on an off camber. Where someone told me that would be a help. Boy, pretty. Here we got ice at the bottom of the hill. We'll run her up the hill. Oh, this is just too pretty. I'm just gonna go straight through this. Catch up with Dave. Too pretty. Hopefully the battery will last in that camera long enough to get us up that one steep hill that I got on the winter trail ride. This clutch, the differential, although I'm only using the locking rear differential, the clutch and rear, the transmission and engine and clutch and differential is great so far. No issues with these hills, none whatsoever. I'm not sure if I'm going to take it up Great Valley or not. I wanted to launch the drone, but I wonder if it's just too cold for the drone. Seat is extremely comfortable on this machine. You're riding more upright, but the seat is very comfortable for an upright ride. Can Am, great job. Hands down, great job. I think it will ride better when I get my trail tires on. I think these mud tires aren't optimal for the type of riding I do. I may put them on in the spring when it gets muddy here. Dave, my goggles are starting to fog up for the first time on this ride. One thing to notice, what a cup holder. Is that nice? Got an icy spot on the trail. Look at that cup holder. I got 2 more in the armrest. Dave's doing some leaning on this ice. It's very icy. These mud tires are not good on ice. Dave spun out a little bit. Beautiful ride. Beautiful day for a ride. God, great trail. Do they make this trail nice and wide? Gotta pick your line, man. It just slid off the trail with that ice into some brush. Very icy. So definitely have to get the new tires on this machine for this type of riding. If you can hear it, I got most of the rattles out of the, I think I got all the rattles out of the door. The tailgate rattled a little bit. I worked on that to get that out, and I hope you can see this. It's beautiful. This might be the sunniest day I've ever been at Demon Run. Certainly during the winter. Great job of leading us. My mirror is, I don't know if you can see my mirror is outstanding. I can see the guys behind me. This is just like a snowmobile. You get it into that power band and it takes off. So even though it's got 72 horsepower, I've heard some guys complain that it needs more power for a trail. Now mine is probably geared better for trail than a typical Defender. Probably geared lower. Doesn't have a real top end, but I think it's fine. I think it's awesome. Little sideways. I don't know if it's the mud tires. She started to move. Oh boy, that's not good. And I don't know how this machine is gonna go on the roller coaster. I lost a dust cover that covers the axle nut. I lost that. Dave noticed it. Now there's a big blind spot. I wanted Dave to turn the camera on for this section, and then after we go through here, we're gonna get video of the other 2 machines we're with, the Can Am Commander and the TODD'S 4-seat high lifter. No issue with pulling power with this machine at all. She pulls, but she does slide on some of these tight turns that are icy. The front end will push bad, which is like, this is scary. So I got to slow down. Actually pushes really bad because I have the rear end locked out. Dave's doing a great job of camera work, slowing down for me. Oh man, this is the hills. Let's see if I can do this without the diff lock. This is the hill, boy. This is very icy here. Go around. Oh man, this is a hill. Love it. Oh, that was fun. This thing squashed that hill. It squashed it. That's one of the toughest hills here. It's got a root going across it. I did lock the rear differential and it squashed it. So if you heard me laughing, I was laughing because this pig of a machine, and it is a pig, it's a monster. It's a Russian off-road truck. If you've ever watched those races, man, it just squashed that hill, made it like it was nothing. Loved it. I love that. Boy. So, guys, you know I've had a bunch of off-road side-by-sides. You know that. You know I've had them. For a utility vehicle with a dump bed that is lifted, that has mud tires, that has smart lock, this thing is, I'm laughing. This thing is amazingly stable. The seat, what a great job they did on these seats. Can Am. The seats are, for an upright utility vehicle on the trail, the seats are amazing. And as far as engine, transmission, more power is always good. Engine and transmission, gear ratio, smart lock, that is just, they nailed this. If they put this system or a version on it on their ATVs, they're gonna run away with the business. I don't know what's took them so long. This thing, look at the hills, look at this hill I'm going up. With mud tires on frozen ground. Mud tires on frozen ground. Look at the hills I'm going up. It's an animal. It's an animal. I don't know whether to call this a she or a he. Maybe it's an animal. Because this thing has impressed the hell out of me. I'm thrilled with the purpose. Look at this. I haven't smelled any rubber all day long. I haven't had it. I haven't had any issues with the belt, even pulling Todd's 2,000-pound high lifter Polaris Razor XP with him in it, pulling him out one of the steepest areas in this trail. Hats off to Can Am. I looked at this machine and says it's me. That's Dave said, Peter, it's you. This looks like a big toy, a Tonka truck. And I said, well, I got a Razor, I'm sitting around not using the Razor-S. Be nice that I have a dump body, something to use at home. And this monster is it. Let me go over that tree where it just eats it. Look at going up this hill. Another steep, steep hill. Doesn't even want to hear it. Just point it and it goes. It's like a tractor. It's better than a tractor. I can't believe I just said that. Got tractor tires on it, these mud tires, like ag tires. This thing, very pleased with this animal. I wish the steering, one comment, I wish the steering ratio was, you didn't have to turn the steering wheel so much to get around on it. But they got so many things right on this machine. And I hate to say it, you guys, I'm getting old, but I'm still young at heart. I love the motor's quiet. Love that it's quiet. It's not barking. Very smooth. That V-twin has never-ending torque. Never-ending torque the V-twin has. Just loving it. I'm thrilled with it. Appreciate engineer Dave helping me to rationalize this. I hope my wife uses it around the yard. I certainly am going to use it. And look at these woods. God, I love it here. We ride, you know, we ride 4 or 5 different places, but Demon Run is beautifully adventurous. I love these trails here. I joined for this season. If you're in this Western New York area, I suggest you do the same. Farmer Dave and his wife Vicky, they're great, great people. And I'm loving this machine. I am loving this machine. Dave's taking me down all the blue. Dave's taking me down any dangerous trail he can. Oh boy, I don't like this off camber. Dave's taking me down every dangerous trail he can think of to test this thing. Now we got an off camber on my side. I don't mind when they're on the passenger side. Let's ramble up this hill. Let's give it to her. Let's give it to the animal. Doesn't care. I have some tires ordered for this machine. I have some 32-inch tires ordered for this machine. A trail tire, radials, and I have a feeling they're going to stay on this machine because I don't see me going in deep mud with it. But what's nice about having the XMR is you have the ground clearance, you have the A-arms, you have the transmission, you have the gearing of an XMR, which is what you need, what I think you need for where I ride with these hills. I want gearing. I don't need to go 75, 85 miles an hour. I want gearing to pull me up these hills, and this thing does it. I think it has about an 11-gallon fuel tank. I think the most fuel I used was in low, pulling Hero TODD'S machine out of trouble. This thing's a miser on fuel. Takes 72 horsepower. I think that's right, any day of the week. So sorry to keep rambling, but it's the trail just keeps getting better and better. This is my favorite part of Demon Run, is this trail. I call it the roller coaster. We've been through most of it. I just think it's cool, and I'm thrilled with this machine. The animal's eating this trail today. She's eating this trail. So the next ride with this machine, I really want to get back on my ATV. Boy, look at this view. I really want to get back on my ATV, but I am getting new tires for this, which I think will ride much better than these mud tires. Not that they're great mud tire, I'm sure. But I want to get this thing out when I get the new tires on it. I think it's going to ride softer, and I think my traction is going to be much, much better. Let her rip up this hill. She's sliding around. These tires, these mud tires, just don't hold their direction. I actually am preferring winter riding to summer riding. I really like, you can see further in the woods in the wintertime. The roof has been great because I've got branches dragging across it. I'm sure it's scratched up. There's a little bouncing in my storage box in the back. Let's hammer this thing home. Oh, sure run up this hill. Look at this view. Reminds me of the Wizard of Oz. Reminds me of the woods I grew up with, and as a child, going through the woods on a motorcycle. On an enduro, walking through the woods, riding a bike through the woods. Beautiful place. Beautiful place. I hope they don't take this away from us. I hope Farmer Dave and Vickey are around a long time, because we like this trail. So Dave has us going through Big Valley. Downhill off camera. Not fun in this machine, but she's doing it. Oh boy, is that a lot of load on the left inside tire. Now we're in ice at the bottom of Big Valley. And now here's the question. Are you going up it? That's it. Okay, here we're doing Demon's Elbow again. This is aggressive off-road riding for any side-by-side or ATV. Look at this downhill. Just look at this view. Very, very, very steep. Very steep. I'm going slow so I can get Andy's machine. Also, very impressive. This XMR can do this. Very impressed. very impressed with this machine. I'm a Polaris guy. This machine has my attention. I'm thrilled with the purchase. Traded my Razor S, which was a good machine. Now we got a very steep incline. Gonna wait, look at Dave go up this thing. Very steep. Want to wait for Andy. I do not have the rear differential locked out. Let's see if she can climb it without the rear diff lock. And then she's actually doing it better with it without it locked. Awesome. Awesome. Easier to steer. I want to run the trail with this with the rear diff open and four-wheel drive engaged. It's awesome. I wonder if I could have done that in two-wheel drive in this thing. She's awesome. Loving it. Probably got a great video of Andy going up that. You can see the guys are clearing the trees here. This machine's big, bulky for the trail, but she does it, and I'm thrilled.